Tonight, coronavirus travel concerns. As the sickness spreads, we're taking a look at what to do if you're traveling to one of those impacted areas.
And census implications. Could Minnesota lose a congressional district? We're taking a look at some of the consequences of the count.
Plus, Minnesota's presidential hopeful is rallying this weekend in the North Star State as she ramps up her campaign ahead of Super Tuesday.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Right now, many of us have spring break on our mind, but with coronavirus concerns growing, so are hesitations over booking vacations abroad and here in the United States.
CBS3's Brian Campos spoke with a local travel agency and has more on how you can feel confident traveling during this uncertain time.
The recent coronavirus outbreak is causing concerns for those all over the world and forcing many to rethink their travel plans. But at Divine Destinations, a Duluth travel agency, they say their clients have yet to cancel their plans.
We really don't have a ton of people actually traveling to China. In Duluth, we don't get a lot of requests for that. We've definitely planned it for people in the past. We sell the world. We can put you anywhere you want to go. But for the most part, people that are calling in are going to the Caribbean and Europe, and it hasn't really spread that much there.
While buying travel insurance can cost lost, stolen, or damaged items or trip cancellations, travel agent Natasha Perkowitz says it doesn't cover a refund if you decide not to go because you're worried about the virus.
As long as the airlines are flying there, you can't cancel because you simply don't want to go on your trip anymore.
But she says there are other options for backing out of your planned trip.
We can certainly advise on people if they start saying, we're not really sure because of the coronavirus, then we just say, if you're really wanting to be protected, we'll get you a cancel for any reason policy.
At this point, federal agencies report travel to China and South Korea is highly discouraged, and precautions should be taken for those hoping to visit Italy, Japan, Iran, and Hong Kong. Perkowitz says researching your destination and paying close attention to restrictions or other public policies at your destination will also help inform decision-making.
While there have been no cases of the virus confirmed in Minnesota and just one in Wisconsin, the state health department says it's likely that the virus will cause a global outbreak. DHS is updating their website regularly with the latest information, including how to prepare and protect yourself and others. Meanwhile, schools across the United States are canceling trips abroad, preparing online lessons, and even rethinking perfect attendance awards as they brace for the possibility coronavirus could start spreading in their communities. Schools in the Twin Ports are also having conversations about how to handle coronavirus if it arrives in the Northland. The Duluth School District says they're receiving guidance from the Minnesota Department of Health and Education. They are having weekly teleconferences with school districts as they continue to monitor the situation. The Superior School District says they've reviewed and updated their pandemic response plan using guidance sent out by the state of Wisconsin.
We're joined now with Jeremy Yu, Dean of UMD's College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Thanks for being here, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me.
So schools are taking steps to prepare for coronavirus should it spread. In fact, we just heard UWS took some steps with one of their study abroad programs to South Korea. Is UMD taking any steps as this sort of ramps up?
Yeah, you're seeing similar steps within the University of Minnesota system. So canceling study abroad programs to South Korea and China, and recommending that if you have non-essential travel, maybe put that off if you're going to regions where there has been a significant outbreak so far.
So has this directly impacted any students, or I know you just mentioned a couple of study abroad programs at UMD, but are there any other impacts currently?
At this point, we haven't seen direct impacts, but the university is preparing for the eventuality that something could happen. So if we do have, say, students who are from China who are studying at UMD and aren't able to go back home, we're looking at what sorts of plans can we put in place to help, help those students and make sure that they have accommodations and that they can still take care of what they need to take care of.
As we mentioned earlier, spring break is really just right around the corner. Students traveling all over, really. So are there any tips, or is the college taking any steps to make sure students are aware of some maybe places they shouldn't be going to?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just using common sense at this point. So the same sorts of precautions that you would use for cold and flu season in general are really good for dealing with coronavirus. So making sure that you're washing your hands, that you are covering your mouth and nose if you're coughing or sneezing, that you are that you are taking in the proper fluids, doing all those sorts of things are really effective. But we're also telling students, keep an eye on what's going on in the news. For the most most part, we're not seeing widespread cancellations of public events or things like that within the United States. But students should be aware, checking out the State Department of Health websites or just paying attention to the news so that they can make informed decisions about whether or not travel right now is the best decision for them.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, a popular winter attraction orders a lot of displays and equipment from China. Bentleyville creator Nathan Bentley says so far their shipments have not been impacted by the coronavirus. While still in the planning stages for the 2020 display, Bentley says they do not expect any delays. He said they plan to order what they need in March, so there will be plenty of time to receive everything. We'll turn to the weather now with Dave. Dave, last day of the cool down. Nice weekend ahead.
And it's about time, too, because this morning's temperatures got colder than I expected up north. A lot of towns were tickling 20 below. This time around, thanks to some warm fronts lurking off to the west, it'll be a different story. Above zero, maybe only by a few degrees, but, you know, around here, we consider that a great improvement. Here's the situation for the upper Midwest tonight. That high pressure cell that's kept us cool and dry past couple of days, it's migrating away, and we're being flanked by a pair of low pressure systems that are probably too far out of the area to really bring us precip, but that warm front to the west will make things mild. Here's the weekend forecast then. It's probably going to be on the cloudier side around here because of the two lows. Increasing clouds tonight, leading to a mostly cloudy Saturday. Low temp tonight, 7 above here in the Twin Ports. 32 for a high temp on Saturday. Normal's about 29 or so. So that's a small step towards a warm spell. Sunday, it hits us in the face, partly sunny and 42. Will that last much longer than Sunday? I'll show you the 7-day forecast to prove a point coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Preparations for the 2020 census are underway, and there are some big implications this time around, including the future of Northland politics.
CBS 3's Emma Quinn talked to an Iron Range political expert about what's at stake.
That's right. And so how many congressional districts the state has and how large they are all based on population, a number that changes within each census survey. Iron Range political columnist Aaron Brown says it's a concern locally as the Twin Cities area grows and communities in the northern Minnesota appear to shrink. Now here's a look at the state's congressional districts are laid out as of right now. The lighter purple shows the 8th district, which grew based on the 2010 census results. Republican Pete Stauber has held that seat for one term, and the darker purple is the 7th district, which Democrat Colin Peterson has served since 1991. Brown says if the upcoming census shows the 8th district's population has declined, this could all be changing, and in a big way. Brown says it could mean changes to which the towns the 8th district represents, or the 8th district could even be absorbed entirely by the 7th district. Brown says a larger region would mean a much wider array of issues that a congressperson would need to learn and push for at the nation's capital.
If all of northern Minnesota, for instance, were to become part of a new 7th district, that district would include not only mining and shipping and the things northeastern Minnesota talks about so much, but also agriculture and the things that northwestern Minnesota deals with. And that's going to be a challenge for a politician to come in and become an expert in the things that they're maybe not as familiar with.
Brown adds this could mean a lack of representation for rural Minnesota at both the state and national level. Now, those results will be reviewed, and any potential changes would be made during the 2021 legislative session. And city and county officials point to these possible changes as a reason why it's important to make sure you're counted in the upcoming census. Back to you.
Thanks, Emma. Carleton County officials recently revoked a ban on flavored tobacco. The county passed the original ordinance in December. It banned flavored tobacco and also raised the legal age to purchase tobacco to 21. They held a public meeting on the ordinance in January. The county coordinator says area businesses spoke out about the flavored tobacco ban during the meeting. Some businesses felt the ban would drive local business to other area counties. The Board of Commissioners chair said the flavored tobacco ban isn't necessary. The ordinance goes into effect May 1st.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives approved a bill today that would ban the sale of flavored tobacco products in the U.S. The bill would replace new restrictions on e-cigarette marketing. It would also ban flavors of tobacco products, including menthol cigarettes. The bill will now go to the Senate, where approval is considered unlikely. According to the Associated Press, the Trump administration opposes the bill. Meanwhile, supporters say the bill provides a comprehensive strategy to reverse a growing teen vaping epidemic.
Democratic presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar is holding a campaign rally in Minnesota just 2 days before the state's primary. The U.S. Senator will visit St. Louis Park, that's a suburb of the Twin Cities. Her rally is set for 8 o'clock Sunday night. Klobuchar's trip to the Gopher State comes as Minnesota prepares to share the national spotlight Tuesday, when 13 other states will also decide how to distribute their delegates. Well, meanwhile, a squirrel is to blame for a big power outage in Cloquet this morning. More than 6,000 Minnesota Power customers were in the dark for a couple of hours. Company spokespeople say the squirrel got into the substation.
A crash earlier this afternoon left a Duluth police officer with minor injuries. Police spokespeople say it happened around 2 p.m. That's when a two-vehicle crash occurred at the intersection of Lake Avenue and Superior Street. The officer went to St. Luke's Hospital. We don't know the cause of the crash or how bad the officer was hurt. Police are investigating the incident. And no one was injured when a semi rolled and spilled some of the load it was carrying on a Saginaw highway. It happened around 6 o'clock this morning near Highway 2 and Highway 33. Crews did clear up the fluid that spilled. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, a century-old building in northwest Wisconsin is given new life. How an old train depot is being preserved, coming up.
This should be the last day of the cold snap. High temp today, 22 degrees, 6 degrees cooler than normal. 3 below for the overnight low. That's cooler than normal in turn. Come tomorrow, we do warm up. Warm spells coming. Will it last past the weekend? Show you the 7-day in just a bit.
It's the extreme deal of the day. Call now and get fast internet for less than $20 a month. If you ever thought about switching internet providers, the time to do it is now. For a limited time, you can get Access Internet 60 with speeds up to 60 meg and in-home Wi-Fi for only $19.99 a month for 1 year. Plus, there's no contract to sign. This is your chance to get real high-speed internet without the high price. Call 855-330-4175 today.
Snow me the money! You want cash, and 7 Winds Casino wants to give it to you. Every Saturday in March, Quest key holders earn entries into hourly drawings for a cool $1,000 cash. Qualify with 30 points earned. Not a Quest key holder? Just visit the Quest counter to sign up and start winning. The premier guest experience in the Great North Woods. 7 Winds Casino Lodge and Conference Center, Hayward, Wisconsin.
The deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
The markets are plunging for a second straight day.
Health experts warn the U.S. is underprepared. Managing a crisis is what Mike Bloomberg does. In the aftermath of 9/11, he steadied and rebuilt America's largest city, oversaw emergency response to natural disasters, upgraded hospital preparedness to manage health crises, and he's funding cutting-edge research to contain epidemics. Tested, ready.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha. The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness. During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark. Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close. Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars with laser illumination technology for just $39.99. You'll also get a protective carrying case, yours free. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight, just pay separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-850-1828. That's 1-800-850-1828. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
These are codes and symbols, and we need to copy it.
Got it. A new MacGyver tonight on CBS.
I was friended by someone claiming to be God. They started sending me friend suggestions for people in need of help.
So we help them.
Reconnecting families, even saving someone's life.
We are basically the Justice League.
A New God Friended Me, Sunday on CBS. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, for towns north of Duluth, it got colder than I expected. I thought we'd bottom out around 15 below, but let's get into the map here and take a look at International Falls. 22 below this morning, 20 below towards Orr and Ely, 16 below in Hibbing. Even Hayward got to 13 degrees below zero, but on the other side, also staying warmer than I expected. Ironwood at 12 above. Well, I don't know how many folks are going to have 12 above tomorrow morning, but with a warming trend coming, I think most towns are going to indeed be above zero, if not by a degree at least, right there at zero. The warm spell's coming, daytime highs getting into the 30s, even 40s for the weekend. So this cold snap will go away, and I don't see another one in the 7-day forecast. I see right now at the airport we have 19 above, 38% for the relative humidity, so it's kind of dry out there. Northwest winds running 9 miles per hour, and the air pressure is running high at 1,023 millibars. So let's eye up the current temperatures. We have 17 Watersmeet to 18 in Ironwood, 20 to 23 degrees through northwestern Wisconsin here. Superior seems to be the top vote getter as far as temperatures go. 23 is also being found in Moose Lake, 19 to 21 or so for many towns on the North Shore, though up the Gunflint, of course, it falls off fairly rapidly. 18 Ely, 19 Hibbing, 21 Grand Rapids, 21 also International Falls. Lows tonight, I'm thinking about 0 to 5 or so for the ranges, and perhaps 7 to 8 here closer to the lake, and a range of above zero temperatures from perhaps 3 to 9 in that neck of the woods, followed by high temps in the 30s come tomorrow. Well, coming right now, we've got clouds that are trying to filter in, replacing the high pressure cell that we've had for a while. So as far as precip goes, tail end of a low pressure system is keeping some parts of the UP under the clouds with a little bit of lake effect snow. But here in our area, from our part of the UP in through northern Minnesota, still on the clearer side, oh, thanks to that high pressure cell. But again, it's going away. Low pressure systems, one to the south, one to the west, with a warm front in between coming our way. And for Saturday, that means it's going to be mild. And then the warmer air behind the warm front gets with us on Sunday, and it comes straight up warm into the 40s. Lower 40s, I'm thinking. But upper 20s is where we're supposed to be, so it's a bit of a warm spell. And neither low is really that close to our area, so it probably will bring the warmth and some clouds, but no precipitation. I think it'll be cloudy but dry here this weekend. Forecast tonight, well, we can call this warm since it is above zero, going from 0 in Ely to 1 towards Hibbing to 10 right by the lake here in the Twin Ports. Increasing clouds. They'll increase in Wisconsin, Michigan as well, with 3 to about 7 for the temps there. And then for tomorrow, with a mostly cloudy sky in Wisconsin and Michigan, we go towards 35 degrees. And in Minnesota, well, down towards Moose Lake, we might even go to 36. With a mostly cloudy sky. And then come Sunday, partly sunny and 42 degrees. Cools down a little bit on Monday, 31 with partly cloudy sky. Precip chance this week, well, we're still looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, but it's only a 30% chance for flurries to maybe an inch or so of snow. So not a huge deal. Not a huge end to February here in the introduction to March. That's wild and crazy. Lion-like, more lamb-like this year.
Yeah, definitely. Look at Sunday.
Yeah, no
Wow.
kidding. That's a lot of ice melting weather there, so be careful on the lakes if you're going fishing.
Indeed, be careful. But for those who are craving late season ice, well, be careful on it like we just mentioned. But once it cools down again by Monday, maybe that'll help preserve it a little while longer.
All right, thanks, Dave.
A century-old rundown building on the Bayfield Peninsula now has a new home and a new purpose. On Monday, crews moved the original Houghton Depot to the town of Bayview Park. It served as a train depot for 50 years, then a personal home. In 2018, the previous owners gave the building to the town of Bayview. The Bayview History Committee organized the move. The 15 by 20-foot building was moved about 5 miles from a site in Washburn. The History Committee says this project is one way to keep the depot alive and share its past with future generations.
A lot of people were just really grateful and supportive. And I've talked to people at school. There's excitement there about having their students come out here. We want younger people especially to learn the history and appreciate this area.
Tonight at 10, we'll hear more about the reconstruction project and the education program it will soon house.
But first, Kelly Hinseth is in our house.
I am in the house with some sports.
It's Friday, you guys.
It is very much Friday, and you know what that means? UMD back in action. We got the ladies at home. We got the men on the road. Playoffs for the women. The preview's coming up next.
Star Trek Enterprise.
Find heroes and icons only on My 9.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Hey, Tom.
Sheila. Hey, don't take losing the Anderson business personally.
I resigned it, Tom. Guess they didn't tell you about their opossum problem.
I thought it was pronounced possum.
Live in concert in the Otter Creek Event Center, Black Bear Casino Resort lights up the stage with Clay Walker, Friday, May 15th.
Then what you gonna do when the new wears off and the
With hit after hit for the last 3 decades, his smooth voice and energetic stage presence have made him one of the busiest artists on the road.
I can make a living out of loving you.
Tickets available at the Players Club or online at blackbearcasinoresort.com. Make the Bear your place.
See the original Harlem Globetrotters, all new, pushing the limits world tour with new high-flying stunts, a new record-breaking attempt, and laugh-out-loud entertainment for the whole family.
The Harlem Globetrotters play in Duluth at AMSOIL Arena March 29th. Visit harlemglobetrotters.com.
Always on the go, but want to keep up with the day's news? Don't worry. Now we are wherever you are. Traveling? No problem. Stream wherever, whenever with live local CBS3.
These are codes and symbols, and we need to copy it. Got it.
A new MacGyver tonight on CBS.
I was friended by someone claiming to be God. They started sending me friend suggestions for people in need of help.
So we help them.
Reconnecting families, even saving someone's life.
We are basically the Justice League.
A new God Friended Me, Sunday on CBS.
How do I take the 2020 census? In March 2020, every address in the country will receive an invitation to complete a simple questionnaire. And there are 3 ways to respond. Number 1, do it online. Number 2, call by phone. Number 3, send it by mail. For those who don't respond, a census taker from your community will follow up and assist you. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. The smoke is still really heavy. You can smell it.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
Anytime, day or night.
And while this is a very active scene, the public is being asked to stay away from the area.
Good afternoon, I'm Kristen Bakke. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news out of Cloquet this morning. CBS3 first got word of this fire and went to the scene at around 3:30.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Better?
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Gone is the regular season. The quest for an NCAA tournament berth begins now for the UMD women's hockey team. UMD hosts Bemidji State tonight for the first round of the WCHA tournament. 2 wins out of a best-of-3 series this weekend will give the Bulldogs a shot at the WCHA Frozen Face-Off next weekend. Tonight will be the 6th time they meet BSU this season, so they know each other pretty darn well at this point.
They're a great team. They have a lot of really good senior players that are going to be laying out on the line, so I think we have to be ready for a close matchup and really a big battle.
They're a very defensive team, and they get their good chances, and we just got to lock down the defense zone and capitalize on our offensive chances that we get.
Sydney Brott is having a senior year for the books for the Bulldogs. It's important not to overlook that her 2 goals in the 3rd period over Wisconsin on Sunday gave the Bulldogs the lead late in the game. Even though it didn't end up going their way, Coach Kroll has stressed the senior's ability to put the team on her back.
Anyone in the building, anyone on our team knows that she does that, and she's been doing that all season long, whether it's, scoring those big goals like she did on Sunday, or having that passion and desire and wanting this so badly for the group that other people are motivated and inspired to play for themselves, for our program, but for her.
UMD will face Bemidji State for the third straight year in the WCHA quarterfinals beginning tonight at Amsoil Arena. Puck drop is at 7:07 p.m. We'll have highlights tonight at 10. The UMD men's team is on the road for their second straight series away from home. Without Jackson Cates on the top middle line, his brother Noah will fill that spot. But it's important to note how unshaken the Bulldogs have been when their players fall this season, or changes have to be made. That was especially telling during last week's 2-1 win over Western Michigan in Game 2.
That's always something you're wondering about at the beginning of the year is, are we going to have a full, deep four lines in our lineup to be able that we can count on if someone gets caught out there with not our normal matchup. But I mean, I feel comfortable with who's ever on the ice on this team. I think we're deep through all four lines and all 6 defensemen or 7 defensemen who's ever out there. So I mean, it's nice knowing that we're all on the same page and we're all sticking to one game plan.
UMD takes on Colorado College tonight in a late one. Puck drop is at 8:37 p.m. We'll have an update from the game tonight in the CBS3 News at 10. Just about a year ago, we watched sophomore stud Mikey Anderson lead the UMD Bulldogs to their second straight national title. As of tomorrow, Anderson will have made his NHL debut. Anderson is set to debut with the LA Kings after being called up from Ontario. The Roseville, Minnesota native has appeared in 53 games with the Reign this season, posting 15 points. He will wear the number 44 with the Kings tomorrow. But more importantly, Anderson will make his debut facing the New Jersey Devils, which just so happens to be his older brother Joey's NHL team. NHL debut. You're playing your older brother.
Wow.
It's at 3 o'clock tomorrow. It's not on national TV, but if you have NHL Pass, you can watch it, and we'll be, I'm sure, updating you in the 6 p.m. show, because how stinking cool is that?
How about the parents?
Yeah, who do you root for? Yeah.
Who are the Andersons rooting for this weekend?
We need to find out.
Thanks, Kelly. Well, this story might make you just a little squeamish. All this cake requires is flour, eggs, and 20 grams of dead insects.
Oh.
No, you haven't misheard that one. A team of scientists at Belgium's University of Ghent are trying to find a way to substitute dairy in things like cakes, cookies, and waffles. They say deriving grease from insects is more green than dairy production. The team says that consumers cannot taste the difference when a quarter of the milk and butter is replaced with the fat from the insects, but they start to notice when it gets to the halfway mark. I'll stay away from that one.
Yeah.
No thanks.
No thanks. Let's change the subject
Yeah.
to weather. Dave, sunshine this weekend, huh?
No.
No?
Clouds.
Oh,
Pretty
dang.
cloudy on Saturday. Maybe a peek at sunshine to brighten your spirits on Sunday, Kristen, but warm towards the 40s.
Pretty warm, yeah. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.